Something new, but it's not really that new, is the concept of equal work for equal pay. What is it? It's basically the protection for employees by introducing inequality of pay, where the same work or work of equal value is performed. How far does this right stretch? Can discrimination be legal on this basis in terms of the Employment Equity Act? Let's dive into a scenario where we have a female employee of color and she's employed as a female surveillance auditor at a company. Now, this employee is of the opinion that she should be remunerated at the same level as a white male colleague who also occupies the same position at the business. Disclaimer, I'm going to be using the concept of black and white for argument's sake, but in terms of discrimination, I mean, it's broad. It can be any race, any gender, any age, you name it. Let's say that the difference in monthly salary is about 30 to 40%, and when we evaluate the work is identical and or the same. Therefore, on face value, there is discrimination between two employees based on difference in salaries received. So is this discrimination unfair or not? The Code of Good Practice provides that where a difference between remuneration exists, where there is the same work or work of equal value, the difference may be justified and fair based on the individual's respective seniority of length of service, qualifications, ability or competence above the minimum acceptable levels required for the performance of the job, and the individual's respective performance, quantity or quality of work. Remember that everything that I've just mentioned can only be provided or proven where employees are equally subject to the employer's performance evaluation system, and that the performance evaluation system is consistently applied. This is important because the playing field needs to be equal when appraising or evaluating the positions. If this white employee in our scenario had more years of service and seniority, and a higher grade in terms of the industry's council, we could assume or justify that would be a difference in remuneration based on the two positions. What if we went one step further and looked at the talent acquisition process? If the white employee was recruited, while his new salary or offer would have to be more than his previous salary at his previous employer, it would be very unlikely that he would have left for less. This could also justify the difference if this could be proven. With a request of a higher salary, the white employee would have to back up his asking price for his services based on his qualifications and experience. The employee's asking price for his service will have to be market related, and this would be an element that has to be considered should such a case be decided at the CCMA. So if there is a difference like in our scenario, this is not due to race or gender and is justified by the market-related premium attached to the other employee's better experience and qualifications. If we did have differences in salary without the elements of seniority or length of service, qualifications, ability or competence, etc., well, then an employee could potentially be able to justify a discrimination claim, provided that it can be proven that the differentiation is related to gender or race, for example. The rationale and proven records will be the most important factors to consider. Salary differences will always be a sore subject and create unhappiness in the workplace. They have done so for the past 100 years and they will continue to do so for the next 100. If a company can prove or justify why an employee is better paid than another employee carrying out the same work, based on the factors that are fair and reasonable, then discrimination cannot be unfair. That's all that I have for you today. Until next time, ciao for now.